Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people. We help people build wealth. We help you do work that you love, and we help you create actual, amazing relationships. Thank you for being with us, America. We're here to help. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today, and we're here to talk with you about you right in front of you. Tony's going to start off this hour in Minneapolis. Hey, Tony, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Honored to talk to you. Jade, great addition to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for taking my call.
Great.
My mother talked to me this weekend about redoing her will, and she asked me if she thought it was a good idea to have the lawyer be the executor of the will. And the reason she's asking is we don't really trust my sister. She sued my stepmother's estate and won that case because we were excluded from her will. So I don't know what to do. I don't want to deal with the legal ramifications once my mom passes if my sister chooses to do that.
Wow. I'm sorry. What a painful mess. Nothing brings out family dysfunction like a good death. Oh, my gosh. So in a normal world where you don't have a litigious, crazy sister, you would you would say, okay, executor, the word, if you look at it carefully, simply means to execute. Execute your mother's wishes, her will, what she wills to happen, and she writes it down called a testament, her last will and testament. So you're going to execute her wishes. But if you got somebody that's going to screw around with that and fight all the time, not a bad idea to have a lawyer in the mix just to keep her at bay. It might intimidate her into behaving.
Okay.
And you wouldn't have to mess with her.
Exactly. That's the plus side of it. I haven't talked to her in 2 years since she started the lawsuit.
Yeah. What's the size of the estate?
I don't know. I asked her to do what you recommended, to have a reading of the will, and my mom said that would pretty much end the relationship between her and my sister. So, because she wants to break it up by percentages, like.
If you had to guess how much.
You don't know the size. I mean, is it 10 million, 1 million, 100,000?
I'm guessing maybe 500 to a million.
Okay. My guess is the attorney's probably going to charge her $20,000.
Okay.
Give or take. I mean, he might charge less, or she might charge more, might charge less, but wouldn't be that unusual. And then an hourly rate if it goes beyond that because we end up in court or something, right? So, but a flat fee to be an executor on an estate that size, somewhere in there. I could be off, but just ask and find out about that. But here's the thing. I think what you're describing to me is you got a real high percentage you got to deal with crazy sister, right?
Yep.
So why? I don't want that. No, thanks. Mom, get a lawyer.
Okay. And that part sounded great. I just didn't know if we could even trust the lawyer part.
Well, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't trust any. I mean, lawyers are people. Some of them are better than others at their job. And so your mom's job is to get in there and learn that the attorney has put everything down right and talk to the attorney about it and go, okay, this, crazy's going to come at us when I die, come at you. So you need to have this thing button up, buddy. Now, what's button up mean? What extra layers do we need to put in this thing to totally insulate it? Now, here's the thing. In America, anyone can sue anyone for anything, even if they completely make it up. Okay? Mm-hmm. We have this idea that somehow you have to tell the truth or something in a lawsuit. You don't. There's a thing called a pleading, which is when they file the lawsuit and they put down their version of the story. And when you're dealing with crazy people, their version of the story is mostly lies, and it becomes public record. So she could say, you did all these horrible things in her pleading and file that lawsuit regardless of what this will says. A will doesn't keep her from filing. It just keeps her from wanting to file because it's so airtight.
Okay.
But I mean, you may get dragged through the mud anyway. There's nothing, and honestly, there's nothing you can do about it.
Because she's the executor on her current will, but she wants to update it, and that's where...
Your sister is the executor in her current will?
Correct.
And she's not in good relationship with her. Yeah, she does need to change that yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I mean, she's not a very good person, but she's very intimidating too, so...
How quickly do you think she's going to actually make this change?
I'm hoping by summer.
Okay. How old's your mom?
76.
End of March, dude.
Okay.
Get it done by the end of March. Because you're going to end up tangled up in stuff for a decade, screwing around with intimidating crazy sister. Now I like her even less. She's a bully.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no amount of money here that's worth putting up with somebody like that. So, yeah, your mom needs to have, yes. I normally don't tell people to have a lawyer be the executor. But in this case, it might be a deterrent because the attorney is not as easily, he's not or she's not affected at all by the emotions of your sister, where you are.
That's right. And I feel like if he's the executor, even though it's the mom, the mom created the will, if he's the executor, sister's going to take it out on him regardless, just because he's in that position. Whereas with the lawyer, it's a little bit more of a, I don't know, he's like Switzerland in that situation.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe it can preserve they're dysfunctional, but maybe there's something that can be preserved there by having the lawyer do it.
It'd be nice, but doesn't sound like it. All right, Kelsey's ship sailed. Kelsey's in Lynchburg, Virginia. Hi, Kelsey. How are you?
Oh, Dave, I'm better than I deserve. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm 26, currently engaged. We are cash flowing our wedding and in baby step 2. I have been at my job as a social worker for a year, making $40,000, and I recently graduated with my master's degree. I've since done some things outside of my job description at work, and I feel like I've added value with the knowledge that I've gained from my degree. How should I go about asking my boss for a pay increase?
Well, if I were asking for an increase, I would start with not just saying, hey, I've got these credentials, here's what I deserve. I would probably go in asking and checking myself first and going, okay, I may have upgraded my career, but have I actually added value? So it starts with having a conversation with your leader about what value you can add, what that looks like, and talking about what a long-term plan can look like, as opposed to kind of marching in there and saying, I deserve.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Switch shoes and say, if you were sitting in your boss's seat, how would you want to hear this conversation coming from that person? And it generally is a lot of humility, and it's like, gosh, I finished my degree. I'm so excited about that. I'm doing all these other things here. I want to keep adding value. What could I do here that would cause you to give me a raise? How can I help?
How can I help?
That kind of an approach. Very few people are angry about that. This is The Ramsey Show. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Our question of the day comes from Ryan in Arkansas. Jade, you want to take it?
I'll take it. He says, I'm 45 years old. I'm married with 2 children under 12 and completely debt-free. I took a new job a year and a half ago making $100K a year, and my wife is a stay-at-home mom. The nature of my job requires me to be on call and close to work, leaving me little choice but to pay a premium rent of $2,000 per month. We are currently watching the housing market and still learning the area and are socking money away to buy a home. I have $45,000 in the bank doing nothing for me, but I've been hesitant to invest as we would like to have the money available should a home come up that we can buy. I've been told that cash in savings in a savings account is like melting ice. What do I do with it? Well, in this situation, when it comes to saving for a house, it's a little bit different than just, any other money that you're putting aside. Typically we wouldn't invest the money that you're saving for a house unless the timeline is, 5 years or more. Although, Dave, I've heard you say that a lot of times you'll just pop some money in an index fund and let it sit there and grow if you know what you might use it for. I particularly don't have the stomach for that. I'd probably put it in an HYSA and just get the best return on it that I possibly could for the time being, because it sounds like you're kind of in that moment where if the right thing comes open, you're ready to jump on it. So yeah, I would keep it out of the market and I would put it in a high yield savings account, maybe put it, I've heard Dave say that he'll put it in a CD, that sort of thing.
Yeah, high yield savings account, like you said, is perfect. It's not melting ice when you are getting ready to use the money and you're getting ready to use this money. And so if you were going to leave it in a stupid savings account for 10 years, then yeah, it is melting ice.
Yeah. But
that's not your description. You're in the housing market. You're ready to buy and get rid of this premium rent and everything else. So yeah, you definitely go that route. You're not doing the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. Now, Jade, I did have a young guy come in. All the work I've done over the years with different NFL and other professional athletes, they just happen to be listening to the show and say, hey, would you look at my stuff? Yeah, I'll look at your stuff. So It's always interesting stories. And, of course, we've run into all the negative stories where they've burned through all the money. I made $100 million. I got nothing to show for it or whatever, that kind of stuff. I've met those guys, and there's always a lot of shame and stuff on those guys. But in the light of what Ryan is saying, this guy comes in. He's young. I mean, he's like 20.
Oh wow.
28 years old, maybe 26 years old. He'd been in the league a few years, but not. He wasn't an old guy in the league by any stretch. And his sweet little wife, and they drive in a used van.
Wow.
And they come in and they go like, Dave, you're going to kill us. We've messed up. And I'm thinking they're going to tell me they've blown all their money. And he goes, you're just gonna be so mad at me. And I'm like, number one, I'm not gonna be mad at you, regardless how dumb you are. But what did you do? I mean, did you do something dumb? And he goes, yeah, we've got all our money in savings account. And I said, how much money do you have in savings account? 36 million.
Oh, whoa.
And I'm like, no, I am not going to yell at you. I'm going to hug you because you did everything right but one tiny thing. You're a pro athlete who has money. You know what this is? A unicorn.
Oh,
I mean, you're incredible. Way to go. You're amazing. I'm so proud of you. You actually lived on less than you make. You're driving a used car.
Wow.
You're not trying to impress your posse. You're out. You didn't buy your mother a house you couldn't afford to buy her. All the stupid butt stuff I usually run into. You have $36 million, and the only thing you did wrong was you didn't invest it. No, you get a hug. You don't get a yelling. So, But yeah, in his case, he is melting ice for sure. He does need to get that money invested. So he was wrong, but not on the get yelled at wrong side though. The smart side. Way to go, man. I mean, just absolute stud. Absolutely. So proud of him. All right. Keisha is with us in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Keisha. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. How are you doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Hi. I was calling because I was looking for some advice. I am a retired veteran collecting disability, so I have the arrogance that I have money till I die. So I do save money. However, I don't have any IRAs because of what I just mentioned. What is the best way for me to try to put money to save money where I'm benefiting and not losing, like the previous caller, the caller today? I have money sitting, not gaining a lot of interest.
How much money do you have in savings?
Now I have 50,000.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. How old are you?
I just turned 50 last year.
Okay. Are you working?
No, unfortunately, the job market, my transition from the military was extremely difficult. So I'm not working.
Okay. So you're getting a substantial disability, you're saying, from the government, right?
Yes, and my retirement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I live within my means. So
Sure. I wasn't questioning that.
No, I'm just saying the only
are
debt that I have is a mortgage and a car.
What's the nature of your disability? How extreme?
Mental.
Mm-hmm. How extreme?
Mental health. Yes.
So it keeps you from working in a traditional work environment. Is it something that would keep you from working in a non-traditional work environment, maybe doing some work from home?
It keeps me from working from a traditional, and I could work from home, yes.
Okay.
So like PTSD type symptoms, is that what we're dealing with?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Hey, thank you for your service, Keisha.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm sorry you ended up struggling with this as a result of serving your country. And I'm glad that we have good retirement and good disability in place to take care of you. That's a good thing. We, the people, should do that. And so this is a good story because you're a good lady. Now, if I woke up in your shoes, what would I do? Well, I've never struggled with PTSD. I've never been in a traumatic situation like that would affect me ongoing. So I can't really get into your shoes honestly, but in general, were I to face some kind of a disability, I would find something I could do in spite of or with as a workaround that disability. So in your case, as Jade was saying, a non-traditional thing, maybe some kind of almost self-employed thing where you control the hours, you control the stress level, you control the volume of work that you do. I would want to put my hand to something because I think it's good for it's good for us. There's dignity in work. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'm not saying you're lazy. That you did not hear me say that. But I am saying if I were you, how do you? It's got to be designed just for Keisha. Yeah, whatever it is, it's got to be designed just for you. And that's why it might be a self-employed thing. It might be that you go take some coding classes and learn to code, and you simply do contract work from home, and you do coding where you don't have to deal with humans much, and you just, I don't know what it is. I'm making stuff up right now, but all of that to say, I'd probably add something to that. Now, having said that you can live on your retirement and your disability, you don't need the $50,000. We would label part of the $50,000 your emergency fund, and we would begin to invest the rest. One of the good things about creating an income is in order to do Roth IRAs, you have to have an earned income. Retirement and disability are not earned income by the IRS's definition for purposes of a Roth IRA. So if we can get you making a little bit of money, then you could do a Roth with some of this money. And that's what I would start talking about.
Investing in a Roth.
Yeah, but you'd have to create some income that's not retirement or disability. Doesn't have to be much.
So in the meanwhile, I have 75% of my income available that I could be saving.
Yeah.
What's the best thing to do with that money?
I would get in touch with one of our SmartVestor pros and simply start doing some investing in mutual funds. It's just not going to be in a retirement account. And what you're looking for are what's called low turnover. Write that down and ask the SmartVestor Pro about it. Click SmartVestor Pro at RamseySolutions.com, and you want to ask them about a low turnover mutual fund. That's a low taxed environment type mutual fund when you're not inside of a retirement account. That's good to look at.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information.
Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Isaac and Brenna are with us. Hey, guys, welcome.
Thank you.
Hey, Dave.
Where do you guys live?
Fairmont, Minnesota.
Fairmont, Minnesota. Now, what's that near? Anything I would know?
Rochester, Mankato.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome to Nashville. Bit of a haul down here.
Sir.
Good to have you. And here to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
$114,000.
Wow. How long did that take?
Just under a year.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
Well, our income was $150,000 for the year.
Okay, cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I am a small business owner.
What kind of business have you got?
Masonry construction.
Oh, good. Great.
Yes,
and
sir.
in the cold. Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Brenna?
I was working as a project manager and a copywriter for a medical device manufacturing company at the time.
Okay. And now you are?
Now I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Ah, ding, ding. Good goals. Okay. What kind of debt was the $114,000?
Well, I had some remaining student loans.
And I had a car loan as well as the loan I took out to become a business owner.
Okay. So you were fairly normal.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Fairly normal. And something happened a year ago. What got you on this Ramsey stuff?
Well, the little girl for me that we have right out here, I just couldn't imagine having $114,000 in debt when we knew our goal was for her to be a stay-at-home mom. And so,
It was a roadblock.
yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
couldn't handle that stress.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. For context, the monthly payment on our loans was more than 3 times our current mortgage. So
Wow.
it was a lot, and we knew we couldn't live on just one income with paying that off.
Yeah. So how long have you been married?
So we got married the fall of 2020. So
Oh, yeah. Why not? Why not? I mean, you know,
yeah.
it's a pandemic wedding.
Oh yes.
Okay. And good for you. All right. So how did you get connected to this Ramsey stuff?
well, I actually was listening to you when I was probably 23, just a casual listener. So it was like, Dave Ramsey, he's all right, you know, but I wasn't following any of your programs at that time. So I liked finances and I liked, you know, being wise with my money, but debt was okay for me at that time.
And then we got married, and he would come home from work every day and tell me all these crazy stories that he heard on the Ramsey Show. And so I started listening to the podcast, and just for entertainment at first, but then it caught on. And actually, when we first got married, we were seeing a financial advisor who's not affiliated with you, but he told us to take the majority of our savings and to pay off our car loan and the remainder of my student loans. And he told us, just do it. He said, you won't regret it in 20 years from now. You'll thank me. And so we did that initially. And then later that year of our marriage, we bought a dog, bought a house, and kind of got a little off track, and we still had the business loan. And then shortly after we bought our house, we were planning a bunch of renovations, not following the Dave Ramsey plan at all. And a few months after we bought the house, we were out, had just gone on a shopping spree and spent about $300, and we were out to eat at a nice steakhouse. And I looked at Isaac and I told him that I was sick of spending money and that I felt out of control with our finances. And I told him that I keep on listening to the debt-free screams on your show, and I just have this nagging feeling that if we can do this, if we can pay off our debt, why wouldn't we? And he agreed, and so right there in that restaurant, we went through our finances and decided how long it would take us and decided that we were going to do it. Mm-hmm. And that was the last time we ate out at a restaurant for a year.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Ate out, no more shopping sprees or...
We paused renovations on our home and didn't go on any trips or anything and just went hardcore at it. So
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So
Way to go, you guys.
it took you a year to do this. For the people listening, what was the key to getting through? Like, what was the one thing that you would recommend to anybody listening?
I think we just had a vision, a vision for what we wanted our lives to look like in 5, 10, 20, 40 years. And looking at your plan, we just knew that was the way. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of moments in life where you realize when what way you need to take. Mm-hmm. I've had those moments, and this is just one of those turning points.
Yeah, that steak dinner was valuable.
Yes, it was.
At least what happened at the steak dinner was valuable.
Yes, it was.
So,
Yeah.
You guys are impressive.
yeah, way to go, you guys. I'm proud of you. Good work. Who was cheering you on outside the two of you?
Well, my parents, both of our parents,
Mm-hmm.
were definitely big cheerleaders in our journey. And
Yeah. And
yeah.
I'd say for me, cheerleader was, we had a little girl and, well, my wife was
On the
pregnant.
way.
And so I look at her and I'm like, this is the reason.
Yeah, this is my why.
Yeah.
This is my why. If you got a big enough why, you can do anything, right?
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, good for you guys. Well
So
done.
good.
And your little girl's name is?
Beverly.
All right. Are we going to bring her into the debt-free scream?
Yeah.
All right, bring her over. How old is she?
She is 10 months old.
All right,
man.
that's perfect. Oh, how cute. That's
She
fun.
is.
Hey, we've got the
squishy.
Live and Give bundle for you. That includes the Total Money Makeover book and the Baby Steps Millionaire book. Both of those are #1 bestsellers. You can read them or give them away or both. And a membership to Financial Peace University. If you haven't been through it, go through it. If you have, then give it to somebody. This is the Live and Give bundle. It's all for you guys. Thanks for making the trip all the way down here. And congratulations. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be free?
Oh, it
Feels
awesome.
wonderful.
Never go back in debt?
Never.
Not for anything.
Not for
No.
anything.
How much do you have left on your house?
129,000.
No, you're not far
you're
on
gonna
that.
be
You'll
done
get
with
there.
that.
You'll get there pretty quick, making 1.5 with no payments.
4
Yeah.
years, it's done.
4 years is the plan. That's
Yep.
about right. I like
Love
it.
it.
And you guys are how old?
I am 31.
I'm
Wow.
26.
All right, look at you. Man, you guys are amazing. Congratulations.
It's exciting, guys.
Isaac and Brenna and Beverly, 114,000 paid off in 1 year, making 150. Everything changes when you get a big enough why. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
That is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's done. Oh, man. Good job, you guys. Hey, a lot of the debt-free screamers, you hear me giving them Financial Peace University to give away. A lot of them have already been through it. Not unusual at all. And lots of you started the year fired up to make changes with your money. But now that some time has gone by, it's cold outside, the fire starts to go out. Change is hard. Transformation is hard. And when you're dealing with money, you're dealing with the person in the mirror, which is really, really hard. And that's why you got to have people walking with you. And that's why Financial Peace University has been a game changer for, almost 10 million people now. In a Financial Peace University class, you're going to learn our proven plan to get out of debt and build wealth. And you'll do it with other people going after the same goals you are. You do not have to figure this out alone. There's hundreds of FPU classes going on all across the country, online and in person. Get in a class right now. It's 9 lessons, 9 weeks. You'll be through the thing. You're going to be reset and recalibrated and ready to go. So join right now. To find an FPU class, go to RamseySolutions.com/class. All one word, no spaces. RamseySolutions.com/FPU class. FPU class. And Jade, you're teaching one.
I am. I have an FPU that is starting March 1st, and you can sign up by going to the FPU page, or I'm sure that James will go ahead and put that QR code on the screen if you're watching the YouTube show, and you can sign up there. Man, we're trying to pack it out, Dave. I want to teach these people what helped Sam and I change our lives over 5 years ago. So.
Yeah, almost $500,000 that she and Sam paid off.
$500,000.
So she knows what she's doing. And that also means that she's not going to take your little whiny excuses.
I'm sure not.
She's going to love you enough to pop you upside the head and get you going. Maybe not quite that harsh. That would be me.
Not the ladies.
That's it. That's
just
it.
the guys.
There you go. Check it out. This is The Ramsey Show. Thank you for joining us, America. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Alex is with us in Fort Worth, Texas. Hi, Alex. How are you?
Doing all right, Dave. How are you guys doing?
Better than we deserve. How can we help?
Well, Dave, I got a little love note from my mortgage company with our annual escrow account disclosure. Apparently, we had a shortage on our escrow account. Usually, it's a couple $100 a year. Like, it's usually fairly close to the actual and projected amounts. But this year, it's like a difference of over $4,000. And
why? Did your taxes or your insurance go up?
Insurance. Taxes, it was short by like $150, which I totally get. But the insurance, though, just absolutely floored us, and they're saying our mortgage is going to go up about $600. And
your homeowner's insurance went up $4,000 in 1 year?
Yeah, and that's what we're really lost on, because I called my neighbor who has the exact same floor plan as us, different insurance provider.
Well, did you shop the homeowner's insurance and change it?
Yeah, that's what we're definitely doing right now. I'm talking to like 4 different companies right now, but it's clear that we're not going to keep this company. But at the same time, we're trying to figure out what do we do in the meantime. It's like we could dip into the emergency fund and pay off that shortage just to kind of get rid of it.
No, it's not a shortage if you change the policy.
Okay.
Have they already paid the premium, the $4,000 extra premium?
I think they've paid part of it, and I think they're wanting us to make up the rest. Yeah, I'm not sure. But to be honest, when it comes to escrow is one of those things that I usually am lost on.
It typically is in arrears. And so what that means is in reverse. And so they're billing you now for what they've already paid, because they're billing you now for last year. Because when you when you got the loan, you set up an escrow account as part of your closing costs, and you paid out that you went ahead and paid out. So it may be, what I would want to do is I want to get on the phone with them and get through exactly what has been paid, because I'm going to cancel this policy and get a reasonably priced policy. And then that's going to change your escrow back to close. And you'll just change it. And then they just need to do an audit and set it up. They don't need to withhold, $400 or $500, $600 a month if they only need $100 a month, in which case you would permanently change your payment by enough to cover your taxes and insurance. But you need to get the right payment on the books, the right health insurance plan, homeowner's insurance plan on the books first, and then you've got to pay for whatever you paid. But if you cancel that homeowner's insurance in the middle of the year, you're only going to have paid for it for half of the year, not for the whole year. So what I'm saying is I want to get into it now and cancel it as soon as possible so that I don't – and if they haven't already paid for it for a whole year at $4,000 increase, then you're only going to have like a $1,000 increase because you're canceling it.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, because we were just looking at them and we're like, there's no way we're going to stay with them. Just it's no. Yeah, they're
so what you need to do is go to RamseySolutions.com and click on insurance for P&C. It's property and casualty, and get with one of our insurance ELPs. They're independent insurance brokers. And that means they'll shop around among several different companies and get you, in your particular situation, the best deal. And usually you bundle it with your cars too, and you can. And the typical person shopping against some of these other companies, they'll save $800. In your case, you may save $4,000.
That would be great.
Yeah, and then so what you're going to do, and then you're going to take that new policy, and then get with the mortgage company and find out how much of the old policy has actually been paid or earned, and you've got to pay the portion that's actually been used. So if that policy with that $4,000 increase has been on the books for 3 months, then it's only going to be, 1/4 of $4,000 increase. You follow me?
Right.
And so, but if it's been on the books a whole year, then you bid it for a year. But I don't think it has. I think you're catching it because they come after you pretty quick with an escrow increase if they're on their game, and it sounds like they are. So yeah, get the policy changed, get it shopped, get with them, request an audit, and then write one check and do a true up, and then set your new, based on your current new homeowners insurance and taxes, $150 more on the taxes, more on the homeowners, but not $4,000 more. Now what should my payment be? Reset the payment to be the accurate amount. It is going to go up, but it's not going to go up as much as they came at you with, because they were assuming you're stupid enough to keep that old policy. Escrow accounts almost all have errors in them.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ongoing. You constantly have to stay on top of it. They almost all have errors, and when they discover an error that they're behind on, they always almost double dip and hit you. So sounded like they needed about a $400 raise, and they were giving him a $600 raise in his payment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like dealing with escrow.
Well, it's you're dealing with bureaucrats on the other end of the phone. That's the other problem too. Tom's in Salt Lake City. Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dave?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
So, long story short, my wife and I we're debt free, our house and everything, since 21.
Way to go!
And thank you. Yeah, it was a big help with your system. It worked out great. We're currently now investing heavily to get our retirement caught up. We're also saving for what we would like to do for our forever home. So we want to buy a lot that we like, and then build the house that we designed to put on that. Our question is, so there a lot came up that we looked at. We were really, really loving it. It looked like it could have been perfect, but we let it go because financially we don't have the savings to just cash roll and stay out of debt.
Good.
So we held off. We let it go, and we felt good about it, but at the same time, we felt maybe we missed out, and we wanted to get your opinion. So all debt is horrible, and I agree with completely. If at all possible, ever mortgages I feel like can be a gray area of debt, and so with what would you recommend? Should we just keep on the track and just, if it takes us 5 years or 10 years to save up to get this lot that we want, and just keep passing on lots as they come along and stop looking? Or would you, if a perfect lot came along, should we take what we've saved, put that as a down payment, get a new mortgage, and keep the house as a rental? That would be the eventual, what we'd really like to do the best is keep the house we have now paid off as a rental and then move up to our new home.
And have a mortgage on your home.
Right. Well, no. The idea would be to save up before we move and not have any mortgage ever again.
Oh, and your old house is a paid-for rental, and your new house is paid for.
Right. But
so why couldn't you save up the lot price then, if you can save up the whole thing?
That's so where we would like to eventually live is, like I said, it's going to be our forever home. So it's probably going to be lot's going to be.
There's no such thing.
Okay, fair enough. Where we would like to be right now, the lot
I got you.
is,
It's the nice move-up house. I'll go with that. And you're going to pay cash
Right.
for it, so why can't you pay cash for the lot?
Well, we don't have it yet.
I know.
It's still 4 or 5 years out.
I know, and you can't pay cash for the house either.
Correct.
No need to buy the lot until we're ready to pay cash for the lot. If you can't even pay cash for the lot, you're nowhere near paying
Right.
cash for the house. So what's the hurry?
Our plan was to pay for the lot and then start with, because we would like to have some really nice landscaping, trees, and whatnot. That's one thing we miss with where we're at now. We have almost no trees. So our thought was find a place we like, buy a lot. It's not like in a subdivision. We're kind of looking up in the hills and the mountainsides. Buy the lot.
Dude, you're missing the point. You told me you were going to pay cash for this house that you're moving into. If you're going to pay cash for the house that you're moving into, you got to at least have the money to pay cash for the lot first. So I don't see really what the trip is, except you've got house fever and lot fever because you're out there riding around every weekend looking at stuff. Chill till you got the money. That's what I would do. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Natasha is in Atlanta. Hi, Natasha. How are you?
Hi, good and you guys.
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, my world has been upside down for the last 7 years. Me and my husband hasn't been very good managing money. I believe we both make good money. My husband works in the film industry, and we ended up moving to Atlanta, so he had a stable job here and income. And I am a teacher, so we make around $80,000, and sometimes it could be all the way to $100 yearly. But it has been a roller coaster for us to be on the same page. And finally, we found your program, and we're trying to make the right choices. This next 2 months, we're going to be like -0. We're just going to pay all our, regular utilities, and our payments are pretty high. So we're trying to figure it out right now if we have to get rid of one of our cars, even though our cars don't pay as much. We have one car is $560 a month. The other is $400 a month, monthly. But we just don't know where to start right now. I'm gonna do like a garage sale to make the $1,000 to start for our savings. We have 0 savings. We're just a mess, and we need to know how can we start something.
Are you guys doing a budget?
Well, that's the first thing we started. But right now the budget is ideally, but we have so much things that are like overdue payments that. If we're not going to even have enough money for the budget, we're going to have to catch up the next 2 months just doing payments.
Well, I think that you're a little bit confused about how the budget is working. So what you're going to do, what do you bring home every month, around $4,000?
I bring $2,800 and my husband brings $6,000.
Oh, $6,000. Oh. Okay, great. So you're going to plug that into your budget. How do you do your budget now? Is it a spreadsheet? What are you using to create your budget every month?
I just have it's not really a spreadsheet. It's just, a chart that I created. Mm-hmm. And we have $8,000 for $100 as income.
Okay.
$8,400. And our out goal is $8,180.
Okay, well, let's start with what your outgo actually is. So you're going to start with the $8,400 and you're just going to go down the line and you're going to spend all of that money. So you're going to start with your expenses and go through making sure that you're making minimum payments on everything, not just your, the expenses that you do every month, like groceries and things like that, but also your debt. And just to keep everything current. I know that you said that you're behind on some stuff, but start out by making minimum payments. And once you've done that, I think you're going to find that there are things that you're spending money on that you don't actually need to spend money on because you guys have a great income.
What kind of debt do you have on?
Well, we have the 2 car loans.
Okay,
and
car number 1 that you owe $400 a month on. What's the balance on it?
Okay, that is 25.
Okay.
I mean, 21.
The one that's 160. What's the balance on it?
No, is 405.60. So the 560 is 25,000, and the 400 is 12,000.
Okay, all right. And what are your other debts?
The student loans.
How much?
Is around $20,000.
Okay. What else?
We also have medical bills, and they are already affected our credit scores. And
how much?
I don't know the number for that. I think it's roughly around $15,000.
And you're paying monthly on these?
We're not.
Okay,
not.
so you're not paying anything on it. You're not paying anything on that at all. Okay. What else?
Well, that's it. Like, I don't.
What's your house payment?
We paid. We don't own. We rent.
What's your rent?
$2,000 a month.
$2,000 a month. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What are you behind on?
Right now, we own 3 months of the car, and we also laid 1 month on rent.
Okay. So what that tells me is that you all are out of control on your spending because you have enough to pay these bills. I don't even know where you're getting to $8,400. I can't get there. You're not paying anything on these medical. You got $2,000 plus you got food, lights, and water, and then you got $1,060 in, or no, you got $960 in credit card debt or in car payments. Student loans on hold with Biden.
Yeah.
You're not paying anything on it.
You're not working a budget. I think you're just guessing at the numbers every month. And if you're not on a budget, you guys are spending like crazy, and then you're not prioritizing the things that you actually need to spend on.
You or him?
This is what has is happening. Like, I try for us to stick on a budget.
Who's the spender, you or him?
I think both. I think we're both very bad spending.
Mm-hmm.
And
why does it say on my screen you're considering a divorce?
Yeah.
Why does it say on my screen you're considering a divorce? You haven't brought that up in our conversation.
I did. Sometimes the only escape that I feel I have from the situation is, only
well, that would be if
own
it's his fault. But you didn't just now say it was his fault. You said it was both your fault.
But it's hard for both of us to be on the same page. It's just hard.
Why?
Like, for now, I explained him that we need to close our personal accounts, and one of the things that you guys recommend is for both to have one account together. And he's like, okay, we can open one account, but we will still keep separate accounts at the same time. I feel he doesn't trust.
Separate accounts aren't your problem. Your problem is you spend like you're in Congress. Somewhere between the two of you.
I'm sorry, what did you say last?
I said you spend out of control. No number of accounts will stop that. Having a singular account's not going to fix that. Getting rid of him's not going to fix it if you're the problem. So what we've got to do is you guys are going to have to lay out a game plan that the two of you agree to. And you guys are getting ready to head into bankruptcy because you're going to get evicted and repoed. You're not but one car payment away from getting into repo land, and you're about half a mortgage or half a rent payment from being evicted if you're my tenant. Because I don't fool around with people not paying their rent. So you guys got to get this stuff together. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you on hold, and we're going to hook you up with one of our coaches, and they're going to sit down with the two of you free. And I'm going to pay for you to go through Financial Peace University, and hopefully that'll save your marriage. But the two of you, it's time for y'all to look in the mirror and go, enough. Because you don't, the numbers you gave us, honey, you got to sell these cars. They're both ridiculous, number one. But number two, you actually could pay these payments with the income you've got. It's doable. But you didn't even choose to pay your rent. Instead, you chose to go party somewhere. I don't know where your freaking money's going. Hold on, we'll help you.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs. We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org/budget.
We absolutely believe in it.
Thank you for joining us, America. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personalities, my co-host. Well, taxes suck. Taxes are confusing. Taxes make me angry. But grown-ups have to deal with them. Anyway, so confusing, angry, suck. Yeah, all these things are true. So you got to get some help with this if you got a complicated return. And don't trust just anybody with your taxes. You need a real tax expert with, that didn't just start doing this 2 weeks ago, okay? Which means they barely, if maybe, don't know more than you know, which is nothing. Hey, that's kind of me. I know a little bit about taxes, but I'll guarantee you my stuff is so complicated I don't do it. I can promise you. Freaking size of a phone book when I'm done with it. It's ridiculous, and float a small country with the crap, So you got to get somebody in your corner if you got a complicated return. Go to RamseySolutions.com/taxpro. You can get one of the Ramsey trusted tax pros, and we'll connect you to them. Doesn't cost anything to connect you, and then you interview them and figure out if you feel like they got their act together. We interviewed them, and we think they got their act together. Otherwise, they wouldn't be Ramsey trusted. Thus the name. So check it out. Get some help in your corner. RamseySolutions.com/taxpro. All right, Jade, our last caller, we didn't have time to do a full counseling session for money on the air. Let me help you guys if you're out there facing that, because I feel like we didn't address the key issue that would be a great learning for everyone else. If you are behind on your payments, behind on your bills, how do you do a budget? Okay. Well, the first thing you do is you have to force rank prioritize. You have to prioritize your dollars. And that means we're going to take care of what we used to learn, and they no longer teach it in the 8th grade, called civics, the difference in necessities and luxuries. 98% of what everybody spends money on in America is a freaking luxury. So let me help you with what an actual necessity is. Food. There's one. No, eating out is not a necessity. Some of you people, all you know how to make is reservations, and you got to work on that, okay? So food at home, cheap, that you bought at the grocery store with a coupon. Food is a necessity. Utilities, lights and water, so you have heat and cool. Utilities is number 2.
Cable is not a utility.
Cable is not a utility. Thank you. Hulu is not on your list. Oh, Netflix is not a necessity, Tiger King. Let me help you, okay?
I just had to put that out there.
Just helping you with your little increase there to $12.95. Okay. I've got it all, but I'm not broke, okay? So I got Hulu and Netflix. So I'll just give them a little ad there, but they're not a necessity. You can live without them. Promise you. Now, once you've gotten food and utilities where belly's full and we're warm, number 3 is shelter. So you take care of your place to live so you're not homeless. You pay your rent. Now, almost everyone can scratch around and make enough money to buy their food, keep their electricity current if they're first, second, and third, and keep your rent paid.
Right.
The only way you get behind on rent, which our last caller was, is if you are completely discombobulated, screwed up, and you're spending crazy money on something else.
You'd have to be.
It's the only way. Because otherwise you go, okay, I'm going to go out to eat, but I'm going to get evicted. That's called insanity. I mean, stupid, right?
Yeah.
We're going on this trip, but we're going to get evicted. Well, that's, I mean, what are your parents' cousins? Really? I mean, seriously, no one does that, but people do it all the time. Because when we get all stressed out, we don't force rank priorities. And if you'll just get real calm, cool, and collected and go, we're going to eat before we do anything. Not eat out. We're going to pay the utilities, not cable, before we do anything. We're going to pay rent. And when you do those 3 things, you got a lot of money, most of you, left over after those 3 things. Then the next one's transportation.
Yeah. Now this is the one that gets people, Dave.
Yeah, well, they had $960 in car payment.
They did.
So we're going to fix their transportation problem because we're going to sell that crap.
Tomorrow.
Okay? If you can't pay the car payment, hello, there's a signal here. Yeah. God is saying, sell the car. It wasn't even Dave. God said it. And you know how I know he said that? The blessings of the Lord have no sorrow added to them.
That's right.
He said that in the Psalms. And if you have sorrow added to something, it's not from God. And this lady has sorrow. They're about to have their cars repoed.
And she's thinking about divorce.
And she's thinking about divorce because they're going to pay their car payments. So these cars need to go. In the meantime, you actually have $8,000 a month coming in. How? Almost $9,000 a month coming in. How do you not pay $1,000 worth of car and $2,000 worth of rent? That's only $3,000. $5,000 left over after that. How are you behind on those? Because you didn't have them prioritized. That's what it tells me.
Right.
Okay? After 30 years of doing this, I have great insight.
These are things that you need to build into your daily way of life. Your budget is something that is not something that you make once a year and you come back to it when things are bad. You do your budget every single month. Before the month begins, you create that plan. You spend every dollar on paper or digital paper every month before it begins. So you have a plan so you can see what are the areas that need attention. Maybe you do need to get your income up. That's not really the case in her situation.
Wouldn't hurt, though.
They've got a spending problem.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll start to see that as you put your budget together.
But let's just pretend for a second. Okay, she said she's 2 car payments behind.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so what's it take to get current and pay this month? $2,000.
She could do that this month.
And what's it take if she's a 1 month behind on rent?
Yeah.
What's it take to get current on that?
Another $2,000.
Yeah.
It's $4,000.
Yeah. So you could be 100% current on the things that matter in 1 month.
That's right. And her student
loan is not. But now you're not going to do anything else. You're not going to do anything else. Something else might get behind.
Well,
and if something like if you got MasterCard laying there, they can jump in the creek. We don't get evicted, and we don't pay MasterCard if we got to choose.
When you like the taste of steak at a restaurant more than you like the feeling of paying your bills on time, you got a problem.
Hello.
You would rather wine and dine yourself. You would rather go on trips that you can't afford than just have the peace of paying your bills on time and sleeping at night.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If you're behind like that, you said early in the conversation, you're doing the budget wrong. What you need to do is you need to spend this month's $8,600 on this month's problems. Yeah. And until you clear food, utilities, housing, and transportation and get them all current, you don't spend anything else on anything. I don't care if somebody doesn't like it. Oh, and you need to stop your stupid 401k withholding. You're over here making investments while you're paying $1,000 in car payments. Okay? So this is what's going on in that house.
Yeah.
And I'm not fussing at her. I'm just saying mathematically, this is so easy for some of you to turn around. Within 1 month or 2 months, you could be 100% current and on the things that matter.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. You emotionally Dr. John Deloney could do a whole clinic on this. You're emotionally completely shut down in crisis mode, trauma mode.
Yeah.
Your brain, your critical thinking skills shut down when you are in threat of being hungry, homeless, and have your lights cut off and your car's repoed. These are the necessities of life.
Yeah.
To have, food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities. Clothing, we don't need to worry about. You know you got clothing, okay? Shut up. There's 73 pairs of shoes in there. Shut up. You don't need clothing. Good Lord, the money we spend. We've got enough clothing last, okay?
Yeah.
So, if you're trying to make a fashion statement, you're getting evicted, you got other issues, right?
Well, you got to grow up, Dave. And I can say that because I've been there. I've had to look in the mirror and go, Jade, you're acting like a child. You're buying clothes, you're going out to eat, and you cannot pay your bills. You've got to change. You've got to do what you're doing differently. Doing things the same way and expecting the same result, that's insanity.
So...
And I was an insane child.
Take care of the four walls first. That's not insanity. It's the opposite. Food, shelter, clothing, transportation, and utilities. Get current on them before you worry about anything else. Everyone else can jump in the creek until that's done.
Yep.
We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Gilbert and Michelle are with us. Hey, guys, welcome.
Hi.
Good to have you. Where do you guys live?
Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, great place. Well, welcome to Nashville. Good to have you. All the way up here to do a debt-free scream. How much have you paid off?
$113,417.
Way to go. And how long did this take you?
39 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We always hovered around 165, 170, between there.
Okay, cool. What do y'all do for a living?
So I'm in sales, and then I also have a part-time counseling job on the side. I'm a 1099 through a psychiatry office.
Great.
And I do IT consulting in Tucson.
Great. Very cool. What kind of debt was your $113,400?
It was our house.
That was our house.
Looking at weird people. I love it. Way to go, you weirdos. What's this house worth? What's it worth?
I think around 300 now. We're not quite sure. Yeah.
And it's paid for.
Yeah, love it.
Man.
Yes.
How old are you two?
I'm 43.
I'm 44.
And you have a paid for house.
We have a paid for house.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's
Have it really settled in on you how unusual you are, seriously? I mean, very few 44-year-olds have a paid-for house.
Every day kind of settles in a little bit more. Like when I open up the door to do laundry, it's all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, we own our house. Nobody can take this from us.
Man, that's so cool.
And we were able to see it build because we took a yardstick and numbered it, and so that way we could track it. And every night when we ate dinner together, we could see where that was at, and it was there every night. showing where we were at and also where we were going. Sometimes that felt like forever.
Yeah.
And other times we would put large amounts and we're like, whoa, look how far that just went. And so you could really see it with the yardstick that we had.
A little bit like parenting. The days are short, the days are long and the years are short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So, were you with us before the home payoff journey, in the debt-free journey as well?
Yeah, so when I first met Gilbert, I was in grad school racking up student loans, and I had a card loan, and he was 100% debt-free, house paid for, and even in that time, he actually bought another property cash. And so he was kind of my first, like, how does this happen? And I did think at that time, like, he can do it, but I don't know how I'm going to do it. And then I graduated, and I knew I'd take a pay cut, but as I was getting job offers at counseling therapy offices and everything, I looked at the numbers. I'm like, I can't eat. I have all this student loan, and now I can't eat. And we were doing numbers at the tables, and I sat there, and I cried, and I cried. And so that's when I started realizing I'll pay off my car loan. That will be the very first thing. And it gave me my first, like, win, as you say. And then after that, I was like, what if I didn't have my school loan? What would that feel like? And I remember I had a classmate. She had this, like, little strange envelope system. And I kind of started Googling, like, how to get out of debt. And, of course, you came up. And from that moment on, it was definitely a spiritual thing, because I sat on my couch and I read it, and I was like, why not? Why can't I do it? And then from that moment on, I just went forward. And I think it was 24 months, almost to the exact day of paying off a little over $80,000.
$80,000.
Wow.
It's just student loan debt that she did.
Yeah.
Wow. I was so proud of her.
Amen.
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
how long have y'all been married?
March will be 4 years.
4 years.
Okay.
in March.
So after you get married, then we look at the house
Then
and
we
go,
looked at the house
we're doing
together.
this in 39 months. Ding, ding.
Yeah. So we knew we wanted to pay it off fast, and we were kind of building a plan and getting a little bit aggressive. And then 2020, we're like, okay, we're going to really go at it. And then obviously the pandemic happens. And I get furloughed for almost 3 months from there. And of course, at that time, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to have a job when I go back. I mean, we rode that out really nicely because we were out of debt. But we thought, what if this house wasn't here? How much better would that be? And from that moment on, I went back to work, and we just went gung-ho from there.
We stayed gazelle intense. I know that's not necessarily the plan to have to, but we wanted to stay that just because we knew how much freedom that would give us.
Amen.
Yeah. So the last 12 months is, I think we paid off around $75,000.
Oh, most of it in 12
Most of it
months.
was in the last,
Yeah. We sold.
Once you can see the finish line, it's weird. You get geared up.
Yeah. We ended up selling one of his stocks, and then we had a little bit over in our savings, and then we took my car fund. I think it was like the last month. We're like, let's just do it. Let's get rid of it.
So who supported you in this process, or who thought you were crazy? Well, it's either one of the two.
Well, Gilbert was definitely my biggest fan, I guess you could say, throughout the process, and he really supported me. And friends and family were there. They're like, okay, cool, that's great, you know. Even had some friends like, good for you, but it's just not for me.
But they don't have a paid-off house.
No. No. Yeah.
Way to go, you guys.
So yeah, we met later on in our life for us, and so my story a little bit for my journey happened well before then, in my early 20s. And part of my story is a little bit similar to yours, Dave, where I had lots of real estate, but I kind of went about it in the wrong way with large amounts of debt. And then in 08 happened, in 09 happened, and I was able to get out from some of that, but not all of it. But it was just enough to still bury me in that. But I learned so much from that, and from that on, I was never again.
Yeah.
And so I rebuilt from the ground up. But from then on, I paid cash for my house. And it was a small house. I went from a nice custom home. It's called the Oro Valley area next to Tucson. I got rid of that, and I went to a little 2-bedroom townhouse just because I'm like, I'm never going back to debt. And so even though it was my primary home and I was affording it, I knew if I just sold that and I started from scratch from then on, it was just going to set me in a good spot. And I did that, and I was able to build some wealth in some of that time on my own before we had met in some of that. And so it was a spot when we met, you know, you hear some people of like, well, on the relationship side, would you take on someone and meet someone in debt and any of that? But I knew who she was as a person.
She was working it.
Yeah, she was who she was as a person, and she was someone worth going through that experience with, even though I had gotten out of it and we weren't married yet.
Yeah.
I didn't partake in that. And it was her wins. She ended up winning herself and go fighting through that to get out of her student loan debts.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well done.
With the houses paid off now, I think that did throw us into the Baby Steps Millionaires from there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
I love to hear it.
Not only do you have a paid-for house at 44, but you're Baby Steps millionaires.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
Wow, way to go, y'all.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be free?
Oh, sometimes words can't even say it.
Yeah, one of the things that was just before we were still working and we saw like what was happening with student loans and a bunch of them were getting forgiven, there was frustration at the table one night from that. And we're like, we worked so hard for that and it's just going to get written off. But it was like, but look at who it made us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't just be given that. You have to work through that and become that.
Yeah.
And that changed our perspective on that then.
No amount of money can actually build those characteristics.
Yeah, it's who
No
are
pun
you
intended.
becoming? And so for me to live in a country where there's freedom, but to my biblical basis, it means for me to the debt is slave to the lender. And once I really put that principle in my life, I'm like, I want to live a free life. That means I have to stay out of debt. And I encourage anyone else, even if you're just playing with it, you feel like you're just managing it because you make a large amount of money. I hear a lot of people that make a lot, but they just manage it.
That is one of the big differences between doing stuff Ramsey and just doing financial stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're so into you and who you are, the relationships, we're into the character, into that whole process, as much as we are, here's the tactics for getting out of debt. That what we end up doing, and it's almost unintentional, but it's also a necessary part of the journey if it's going to be permanent, is we're not only leading you to get out of debt, we're helping you transform to become something different in the process.
Who are
and
you
that
becoming?
happens so often in that process. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's not merely paying off debt. It's a complete metamorphosis, a complete transformation. You guys are incredible. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Hey, we've got the Live and Give bundle for you. It's the Total Money Makeover book, the Baby Steps Millionaires book, and the Financial Peace University membership. Way to go. Gilbert and Michelle, house and everything, 44 years old, Tucson, Arizona, $113,000 paid off in 39 months, making $165. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt free!
Woo! Man, that is awesome. This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Sam's with us in Lansing, Michigan. Hey, Sam, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you guys today?
Great. How can we help?
So, my wife informed me a couple weeks ago that she was $24,000 in credit card debt without me knowing over the course of the last year. And I was wondering what would be the best way to pay it off. We have a couple options. I got lucky, rather be lucky than good. I won $36,000 at the casino. But that money I already, about a month ago, and I already had that money tied up in money market because I'm using that for the down payment on my next home. We could cash in her 401k, which has $25,000 in it, and pay it off. Or do we just kind of suck it up and just make the payments and just pay it down month by month? I just wondering what the best option would be to avoid the interest payments and everything like that.
Yeah. You realize the interest payments aren't the real problem in your house, right? How long have you been
what was
married?
that, sir?
How long have you been married?
We have been married for a year and a half now.
Okay. And how long has she had this debt?
A year. It started basically when my son was born, a little bit over a year ago, and it was just online ordering, stuff like that. 3 different credit cards, going shopping, kind of thing. And I never really noticed that we have separate finances, and I never really noticed it because we don't have any debt, other than our house. We don't owe anything.
So how's that working for you?
Oh, it was working fantastic up until a couple weeks ago.
Don't think it is, do you?
No.
It's not been working for some time, like ever in your married life. It just was revealed. It was just revealed a couple weeks ago.
Correct.
Yeah, you all are not on the same page.
Not at all.
Also, she's spending as a coping mechanism. There's something that she's trying to cope with, and she's not doing it in a healthy way, and so she's looking to spending. And
Is she revenge spending because you're gambling?
I don't gamble. That was the second time I had been at the casino in 5 years.
What'd you spend? And did you budget for it, or did you just go and do it on a whim?
We just did it. We just did it on a whim, basically.
Okay. And all right. So I think the thing that number one, when we're researching millionaires, one of the things we find typically and we've done the largest study of millionaires ever done, Sam, is that the husband and wife are working together, and there aren't secrets, and there's not impulsive spending. And the number of millionaires in our study that became millionaires in a casino is precisely 0. The number of millionaires in our study whose wife or husband hides their finances from them because they don't have good communication is precisely 0. So those are the things that concern me more than the actual credit card debt. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So if you guys want to prosper and do extremely well, which is our goal to help you because we love you, we want you to win, it would entail combining your finances, only one checking account, and a budget meeting every month that the two of you sit down together. Both of you have a vote. For some reason she doesn't think she's got a vote. She had to hide it from shame or guilt or something. And we've got to rebuild trust, which has been violated here. And the two of you together, she has a vote, you have a vote. We are in agreement about what our future goals are and where we're going from there. And so you don't agree with this, but I'm going to tell you what I think, okay, because you called here. I think you both did something stupid, and the only good news is it cancels out. I think you got lucky. Instead of losing a pile of money, you came home with a pile of money. That's the worst thing that can happen at a casino because you're so dumb. Then you go back again thinking you're that guy. And so I'm cashing this money out, paying off these credit cards. We're going to combine our finances, and we're going to set a goal where we're very diligent, very steady, not flashy, to save up a down payment for a home together. And meantime, whatever spending we're going to do that is reasonable spending, the two of us are going to be in agreement every single month before the month begins, and not following through on that, you or her is lying to your spouse. And so what she did here is not cute. It's not funny. And what you did here is not cute and it's not funny. It can be devastating if it's extended out and forward. Both of them can be. And so I'm fussing at you because I love you and I want you to win. But if you were my kid and you're 30 years old, this is exactly how I would talk to you and what I would tell you as your friend. Not because I'm your dad, but because I love you and because I want you to win. And so, Sam, if you haven't had, in our world, we call what she did financial infidelity.
Yeah.
Because it activates the same place in you that sexual infidelity does, because it's a violation of trust.
Yeah.
To run up $24,000 and destroy, or rather delay, your dream of buying a home because of financial misbehavior.
Yeah.
And a lie.
Yeah, and to be honest, if I'm in their situation, I'm probably going to seek out some counseling.
Some marriage counseling.
Yeah, because they're early on, and this is not, they're still forming that foundation. And this is not the sort of thing that you want in the foundation. You want to get to the bottom of this, find out why you guys are keeping secrets, find out why she's feeling it's necessary to medicate by spending, and possibly same for you.
Sam, I think if I were in your shoes and I was 24 and some guy said to me what I just said to you, I would have a tendency to blow it off like you're overreacting, Dave. You're overstating this. And what I'm saying is these two things, these three things, not working together, hiding and lying about money, and gambling, are three things that will cause you to not become a millionaire. So this is like $1 million discussion.
Yeah.
That's why this is important. So I'm not overreacting, because even though it's only $24,000 and $36,000, it's small in the scope of life. The behaviors are going to prohibit you or delay you at minimum from becoming wealthy to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. So I'm not overreacting, because this is millions of dollars we're talking about.
Absolutely, over time. Yeah, Dave, you're being kind, because this is a big deal to me. I mean, if I found out Sam Warshaw went behind my back and spent $25,000, there'd be an atom bomb that went off. You would see the explosion. I'm just saying. There'd
be a little fire.
There'd be little birds chirping around his head, because I would have knocked him out.
So, but I kind of think it might have been more likely you that would do that than him, though.
You know what? That's probably true, because I am the spender. He is the saver.
He's Mr. Deliberate.
Yeah, he is. Which is even more reason, if he did that, I would have gone off on him. But it's what you said. These little things, it makes me think of that scripture that says, a little leaven.
The only time that we've even come close to that at our house, and we did come in the early days, we had lots of arguments about money and fights, was when I was so overbearing, I know you can't imagine that happening, that Sharon didn't feel like she had a vote.
Yeah.
And she will tell you at about year 7 of our marriage, she felt like she got her voice.
Yeah.
Is the way she says it. And she never lost it since, I'll just tell you. But
her voice.
But her voice. But I got my voice, and yeah, but it was, she got her vote.
Yeah.
And from then on, she's kind of had 2. But to make up for the lost years. But that's the thing. If you don't feel like you have a voice in the thing, or you can't make a lot, you can't get there in a discussion, then one spouse tends to go off and hide stuff and do things, and that's not an indication. It's not a money problem. That's a relationship problem.
That's right.
It's a relationship problem. And it was at my house too, Sam. I'm just admitting, I'm just like you, but I'm just old, and it was a long time ago.
Yeah. That's
the only difference, Sam. Don't be mad at us. We love you. That's why we're picking on you. But I would fix those things in my house, because they're costing you, over the scope of the rest of your life, millions of dollars if you don't fix them. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The phone number here is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Starting this hour off is Lisa in Ogden, Utah. Hi, Lisa. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you. I'm so excited to get your advice. I've been binge watching shows trying to get an answer to my question.
Cool.
Now I get to talk to you.
Well, we'll try. How can we help?
All right. 14 years ago, I joined the workforce after a divorce and took financial peace that was offered through my company. And I've been playing with it off and on, and should have stuck with it, because 3 years ago I married an amazing man and we bought a home. And I've been slamming money down into our 401k to retire in 5 years, and just realized I probably shouldn't be doing that and pay the house off.
Okay.
Do you have any other debt?
We have no debt, $20,000 in an emergency fund, $100,000 IRA, $420,000 in a 401k. Our principal payment is only $1,065 on the home. So I was wondering, I've been putting in 25% in the 401k, 13% in company stock, and I was thinking maybe I better just move all that and start paying the house.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way we would teach it is to follow the baby steps in order. So you're above and beyond the 15% that we would say for baby step 4. And I'm guessing baby step 5 isn't a deal, saving for a kid's college. So after that, we're on to baby step 6. And in this case, we would chunk all of that extra money onto the mortgage because we want you to have a paid off home. And then after that, think about all of the money that you could invest into retirement after the home is paid off.
So what does he make?
He's at $55,000 and I'm at $115,000.
115, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay. So one.
The question is, I only have 5 years left to contribute.
I don't care.
Okay.
Here's what you have more than that if you keep working. If you're going to retire in 5 years, that's different. But you got $420,000 in there. When you get to retirement age, how old are you?
62.
Okay. All right.
So I do have the $100,000 IRA we could take out.
I got it. Well, and you've got 420 as well. So you've got 520. What's the balance on the mortgage?
$226,000.
Okay, with a $170,000 income. So here's the thing. We know when you get to your golden years, if we named that 70 or whatever, that you want to have a paid-for house and a large nest egg, both. Agreed?
Yes.
We don't want to have a large nest egg and a big mortgage, and we don't want to have a paid-for house and no nest egg. We want both. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. And what you're doing now is you're only working on one, which is kind of what your alarm system went off, wisely so. So we would tell you to put 15% of your income of $170,000 into retirement plans of some kind in good mutual funds. Everything above that, and so that's what? That's about $25,000 a year. Okay? Everything above that.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
Yeah. Everything above that goes on the mortgage until the mortgage is paid off, which tells me your mortgage is going to be paid off in about 3 or 4 years. You probably still work a year or two after that and max out everything. But here's the trick. Okay? If your $520,000 is invested in good mutual funds, and it's averaging 10% or more, it will double without any contribution to it, any additional contribution. It will double about every 7 years. So you said you're 62, right?
Yes.
So your 520 becomes $1,040,000 when you're 69 if you don't add anything to it.
Wow.
And I'm telling you to continue to add 15% to it and still get your house paid off in about 3 or 4 years. And then it'll double again. That $1 million will be $2 million 7 years after that, which will be 76 years old. And all this time, your house is being paid for. Oh, and by the way, we've got more money than that because you've also added over this next 5 years at least 15% of $170,000. So you have done a great job. All we're doing is just tuning just a little bit, just tweaking the sound just a little so it sounds a little different, okay?
Okay, great. I will do it.
Yeah, you're 90% on path. All we're doing is a slight change to get both things accomplished in a sooner time. Does that make sense?
Fun. I have one more question about life insurance real quick.
All right.
Obviously, term insurance goes up as you age. So
all insurance goes up as you age.
So I'm paying $100 a month premium for a $200,000 policy. My husband's paying about $50 for a $100,000 policy. Do we need life insurance?
If he dies today, are you okay financially? I'd like for you to get that house paid off.
So continue paying.
I'd probably keep it a couple more years. If you die today, is he okay? Yeah, you can make it. You got $500,000, right? and an income and and some equity. So you'll make it. You're not going to starve to death. You're not going to be a starving widow on the corner, right? But by the way, $100,000 or $200,000 are not going to stop that from happening anyway. That's not a lot of money. But the good news is it's about the balance of the mortgage. So I might keep it for 2 more years till we get that mortgage paid way down. But when that mortgage is starting to reach zero, I'm dumping it.
Great idea. Awesome. I'm very excited. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate getting to tune up on an old FPU grad. See, you can fall off the wagon as long as you're holding on to the end.
That's right. I mean, nobody's perfect for all the time. Sometimes you need a good kick in the butt to get yourself back on the path.
Yeah, and
happens.
She didn't even need that. Just a slight course correction.
Just a little staff.
Here's the thing. You know what the moral of that story is? Some people are doing... It's interesting. There's probably several types of people, but 2 come to mind right now. Some people are doing better than they think they're doing.
Yes.
And others aren't doing nearly as good as they think they're doing. That's the other type.
That's true.
So
That's true.
There's a little bit of both. There's probably a third or fourth type, but at least those 2 come to mind right now. That's what's going on.
No, she's doing a good job.
Yeah. And, a late in life marriage or remarriage, it's got its own issues, own problems, own processes, and they've still navigated that. Very well done. Very, very well done. All right, open phones here. If you want to talk about your life and your money, the phone number is 888-825-5225. By the way, if you would help us out, we would appreciate you. If you like the show, subscribe. Click the subscribe or follow button. Leave a review, a 5-star review. Mama said if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
I know, that's right.
Leave us a 5-star review and share. If you're a podcaster, a YouTuber, whatever, share it. And if you're listening on talk radio or watching us on TBN, let people know that we're here and that they can come and watch and listen and learn. Hey, you're the best advertisement we've got, and that's what we're here for, is to help you. So help us spread the word, boys and girls. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Tickets are going really fast for our Building Wealth live event tour. We have 4 more stops on the tour, and you don't want to miss this. We're going to have a blast meeting you guys on the road, signing books, taking pictures, answering your questions, sharing all the ways you can control your money and live and give like no one else. Now, listen, a lot of you are doing these things. You're listening to this show. You're engaged in this process. When we come to your city, it's like your pep rally. It's your chance to come and get jacked up again. Some of it, the stuff you've heard before, that kind of a thing, but it's just a review. It's a pep rally. It's your team, and you're on the team. That's simple. February 16th, just a couple weeks, you're going to catch me, Rachel Cruz, George Camel, and Jade Warshaw in Indianapolis, Feb 16. Austin, Texas, February 23rd, Ken Coleman, Dr. John Deloney, and Jade Warshaw, and me. April 24th, I'll be in Salt Lake City with Rachel Cruz, George Campbell, and Christina Ellis. And our final stop of the tour is Anaheim on May 2nd with me, Ken Coleman, Dr. John Deloney, and Christina Ellis. Tickets are $49 starting there, and you can get a 4-pack starting at $175, which you would pay for 1 ticket were you to go to a concert or something. So there you go. Come out. It's just going to be that evening when we're there. We're going to have a lot of fun together. We're going to laugh. You're going to go away going, I can do this. I've got hope. Bring some of your friends who are doubters. The tickets are so inexpensive. People bring friends very often as a method of converting them. So here we go. RamseySolutions.com/events, the Building Wealth Live Tour. February 16th, Indianapolis, Austin, Texas, February 23rd, 24th, Salt Lake City of April, and May 2nd in Anaheim. RamseySolutions.com/events. Get your tickets now. Paige is with us. Paige is in Atlanta, Georgia. Hi, Paige. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Okay, so my fiance and I are getting married at the end of this year. We're cash flowing the wedding and our honeymoon.
Cool.
And we're very excited about that. He has a car lease that we need to get him out of in February of next year, and we have a couple different options for how to kind of go about that, and I wanted to see if you could help us figure out what would be the best solution.
Okay. What are the options?
So to buy out his lease, it's going to cost $24,000. I get a cash bonus every year through my job in February-ish, mid-February. The past 2 years, it's been $15,000. So after taxes, I get $10,000 take home. My car is paid for, and Kelley Blue Book has it valued around $12,000. So my question is, should we sell my car to either use that as a down payment on the $24,000 and then have him make payments on the lease that he's going to buy? Should we use the $12,000 from selling my car to get him into a $12,000 car and then use my bonus that I get next year to get me a car? Or should we not put anything down to buy out his car and then use my bonus next year towards student loan debt that we have?
Okay, so what is happening in February? Is the lease up?
Yes, the lease expires next February.
Okay, all right. Is he over on his miles?
No, I don't think so.
Is he torn up the car, wear and tear?
No, it's in really good condition.
Okay. So that means you can toss them the keys in February.
Yes.
And hand them the car.
Yes.
And you have $10,000, and he will need a car, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your incomes?
So he makes $90,000, and then I make $67,000. I get overtime, so I make a little bit more than that each year.
Okay. Do you guys, either one of you, have any other debt?
We both have student loan debt.
Okay. How much?
He has $10,000, and I have $28,000.
Okay, so 38, and we need a car, and we have 10,000. So we need 48,000, and you make 170.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you're cash flowing the wedding. What are you spending on the wedding?
We're shooting for 25. The original plan was for 20,000, but just with prices and inflation, everything, it's gotten a little more expensive than we had originally planned.
Okay, let me tell you what I just heard. Okay, I heard that between the two of you, you make $170,000 a year. Okay.
Yes.
We are planning out a whole year from now. And to be 100% debt-free and buy a $10,000 car and pay for the $25,000 wedding, you need $75,000 in 1 year, making $170,000.
Yes.
Does that not sound doable to you?
It totally does.
See, I think you're 100% debt-free. He has a $10,000 car, and you paid cash for the wedding by this time next year.
Yes, the wedding is on November of this year, so we'll be done with that by then.
I know. And so you're going to do the wedding, and you've got that bonus coming about the time that his car goes away. So what I'm saying is by the time you get to February, the student loans ought to be gone, and the wedding should be paid for. And then when you get your bonus, he tosses them the keys, and you go buy a $10,000 car with the $10,000 of your bonus.
Okay, so we should be paying our student loans now and getting as much of that out of the way as possible.
You make $170,000 a year. You need $75,000 a year to do all three things. Buy a $10,000 car, pay off the student loans, and do the wedding. Unless I did my math wrong, $75,000 will do all three of those. $38,000 in student loans plus $10,000 for the car is $48,000. I rounded it to $50,000. $25,000 on the wedding. That's $75,000. You with me?
Yes. Yes.
Jade, what am I missing?
You're right on track. I think that she's still understanding what that's going to mean, which is that
you ain't doing nothing.
Both you and your fiance are living on far less.
Nothing.
So that you can accomplish this.
All this eating out and Instagram life is done. Nothing. Your broke friends are going to think you joined a cult, but you're going to be 100% debt free, and you're going to turn in the stupid fleece car in February and be driving two $10,000 cars and 0 student loans, and you pay cash for your $25,000 wedding. So I don't care what your stupid broke friends think.
And let me challenge you on that wedding. Don't trick yourself into saying, oh, because inflation, or oh, because this, it went up.
It went up because you didn't say no.
You gotta, yes, exactly that. Like, you set the budget and you stick to your budget. And if that means that you have to change plans or go with a different vendor or go a different route, do that instead of saying, well, but I had to up the budget because of inflation. Just don't do that. Just set your budget and stick to it.
Yeah,
and
if you don't set a budget on a wedding and stick to it, it will destroy you. It will double. It'll double.
Show enough.
It's real. It is
real.
So real. We had big parties. All 3 Ramsey kids that got married, we had huge weddings. I love a big wedding. I don't mind people spending money on a wedding if they got the money.
If you got the money.
And she's paying cash for it, so I did not diss her about that. But you're exactly right. That stinking emotions, people will justify anything for one day.
It's one day. And I'm all about having a good party.
Oh, I am too.
I mean, have a good party, but it is one day and you've got this whole lifetime ahead of you. I don't want people going broke over their wedding or thinking it's the last time they're ever going to get to celebrate anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My husband and I got married. We paid cash for the wedding. It was a great wedding. And then on our 10-year anniversary, you know what we did, Dave?
Anything you want.
We had it again. We renewed our vows and we did it even bigger.
Oh, there you go.
Because we paid cash for it.
There you go. Anything you want.
Anything you want.
So that's the thing, Paige. If you add it up, $75,000 out of $170,000 in a 1-year period of time, February to February, sounds very doable to me.
Very good.
There's lots of room in there, but you're going to stop all your 401ks. You're going to stop eating out. You're not planning anything big. You're doing 3 things. Debt-free wedding, debt-free student loans, pay cash for a $10,000 car, toss them the keys on the stupid fleece, and don't get fleeced again. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Craig is with us. Hey, Craig, how are you?
Hi, Dave. Great, happy to be here.
We're honored to have you, sir. Where do you live?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, fun. Very cool. Yeah. How much debt have you paid off?
$374,408.
Whoa! How long did this take?
1,638 days.
1,638 days. What's that come out to be?
A little over 4.5 years, but who's counting?
Yeah, okay. All right. Wow. All right. Man. Oh, man. And what was your range of income over 1,638 days?
Started about 40,000, got up to about 200 at one point.
Way to go.
Cool. What do you do for a living?
I own a legal document delivery business.
Okay. How'd you get your income up so far?
Well, when I took everything over and did everything I could to drive business as much as I can.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. I didn't hire anybody on. I took the role of about 4 to 5 people, I would say.
Just worked all the time?
Yeah.
Like a lot of hours?
A lot.
You said when you took everything over, did you buy the business? Or
I did. I bought the business. Yeah.
Okay.
I worked for it for about... I want to say 5 or 6 years before I took everything over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. Good for you. So what kind of debt was $374,000?
It was a little bit of credit cards, a little bit of a car loan, and about $360,000 was the business loan.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
From buying the business.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. But now it makes $200 a year and you have no debt at all.
Yeah, pretty close. I have a mortgage, but yeah, that's next.
Okay. All right. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Very well done.
So
Congratulations.
what happened to make you go on this journey?
Yeah.
You know, so many people would take on business debt and just go, well, it's the business, it's not me.
Right.
They'd be wrong in that. But what made you say, I'm going to tackle this?
So I'd say it started about 8 or 9 years ago. I was renegotiating my lease with my apartment complex, and they were making it to a point where I couldn't afford it at the time. And I was thinking to myself, man, it'd be a lot easier to deal with this if I didn't have a car payment. Or how great would it be if I didn't even have to pay rent? It was my biggest expense. What if that didn't exist? Fast forward a couple of years, and I'm delivering papers at night and listening to your show, and I learned that those things are optional. I don't need to have a car payment. I don't need to have a mortgage payment at some point in my time. Debt is optional. And so I started to get a little bit more serious about it, but not super into it. I stopped using credit cards, but for the most part, didn't really create a budget. And then things didn't get very serious until one night I had to fill a prescription for about $50, and I didn't have the money for it. And that was the point where I decided that was it. This is never going to happen again. I'm never going to worry about filling a prescription. I'm never going to worry about going hungry. I'm never going to worry about my rent or a mortgage. This is over. And I resolved that I was going to get this completed as fast as I possibly could.
That's an interesting. Well, I mean, you did perfectly, but it's an interesting process. I had never thought about it that way. First revelation was, this is optional. It's not required that I stay a slave my whole life. And then you went from optional to pissed off and said, I'm not living like this. And that was the next step, was this healthy anger.
Yeah.
And so, but in order for the anger to kick in, you first had to realize it doesn't have to be this way.
Right.
And then you're like, no, it really is not going to be this way. You know, it's like there was a progression there. You see what I'm talking about? That was interesting. Very, very insightful. Very cool. Good for you, man.
Thank you, sir.
You have worked your butt off.
Yeah, there were a lot of, I think 12-hour days was a minimum.
Yeah.
There was a solid 6-8 week period where there were 16-hour days.
Yeah. Was it worth it?
Yeah. To not have that hanging over my head anymore.
Why did you not drag it out 3 more years and just take it easy? I think you did right, by the way, but I'm just curious for other people.
So I think that would be probably the natural or perhaps even instinctual option to go with.
It'd be wrong, but I'm just wondering why you didn't.
Yeah, I think it comes down to my why. It's a little bit selfish, but I want to walk the earth. I don't want to be beholden to any one person or something that I don't want to naturally be spending my time doing. After doing this, I'm so guarded about my time because it's so precious. Usually, the last 4.5 years, I haven't had very much of it. So I want to spend that how I want to do it.
Amen. Yeah. Ooh, I like it.
I like it too. You're speaking my language right now, Craig. All of that. It's that a different sort of freedom. And I love what you said about culture is telling you need debt. You need this to survive. And you said, I don't think I do. And I don't think I want that. And I just love that. So for anybody watching, tell them what's the one thing that you've learned on this journey that you've taken into your life and it's like, from now on, this is that thing. What is it?
Well, I think I wouldn't be doing it justice if I only said one. Sorry.
Hit me with a couple. Then.
Sure, yeah. I think the budget was pretty critical to doing everything. I don't think there was a way to do it without a roadmap. I would tell people to find ways to stop trading your time for money and trade your work for money. I was able to double up on a lot of my work. It would have been impossible if I had a finite amount of time to trade for money. And then that why, I think that why was a big driving force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, sir. Who was your biggest cheerleaders?
Well, my brother and sister were there through the whole way. I inspired both of them to get out of debt. My brother is still working on it. My sister actually graduated college debt-free. She paid all in cash.
Wow.
She just paid off her car, so she's completely done.
Very good.
Greg, my right-hand man at the office, he was there for me the whole way. Bree, my girlfriend's with me here today.
All right.
Yeah, helping me out with that.
Very cool. Good job, man.
Thanks, sir.
Very, very proud of you. You're an impressive young dude. Well done, well done, well done. $374,000 in 1,638 days. You got to love it. All right, we've got the Live and Give bundle for you, the financial or the Total Money Makeover book, the Financial Peace University membership for a year, and, of course, the Baby Steps Millionaires book. You're on your way to that one for sure. And you'll have those to read and or give or whatever you want to do with them. Thank you for making the trip all the way to Nashville, and we appreciate getting to hang out with you all the way from Phoenix. It's fun.
Thank you for having me.
Very, very well done. All right, Craig from Phoenix, Arizona. $374,000 paid off in 1,638 days, making 40 all the way to 200. 100% debt-free, except the house. Got his business paid off. It's all about it now. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! This is how it's done. Well done, well done, well done. I love it. I love it.
He's a thoughtful guy. He thinks differently, and I love that.
Well, you know, if you don't think differently, you're not going to be different, and you don't want to be normal in this culture today.
I know, that's right. Normal is broke.
Yeah, normal's broke, and we don't want to hang out with that. We don't want to be that, and, you know, you're going to be who you hang out with, so be careful about that. Because they'll tell you, Dad is not optional, and he decided it's optional. That's a great word for that. I've not put that word on that.
I wrote it down. I was like, that's good. Debt is optional. You don't have to live like that. Very well played. You know, the other thing that's kind of going around right now is this idea that I don't want to work much. So I'm going to, in air quotes, work from home, which means I don't plan to work much. Or I'm going to quiet quit, or I'm going to do all that. You know, the laziness I can't stand
that has become popular is quite the opposite of old Craig over here.
Yeah, it is.
Craig's on fire, man. He's getting it.
Yeah.
He's getting it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, what's being lazy getting you?
Never met mediocrity turning into success yet. And this guy right here, he's successful. Well done, Craig. Proud of you, man. Very proud of you. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, Ephesians 6:10. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Muhammad Ali said it this way: he who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Well, there you go. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Justin is in Colorado Springs. Hey, Justin, what's up?
Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Well, hopefully you take it easy on me, and I won't be a bad segment on a YouTube or something. So if you're ready, I'll go ahead.
We'll try.
Well, I'm basically I'm looking to I need to make some more money long-term wealth-wise, and I have an idea of where to start, but I kind of want to get your advice on that. So if you need me to give you some just basics, I can.
Well, what's your question? I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm looking to build a little bit more long-term wealth, and I feel like me and my wife are a little bit behind.
How old are you?
32.
Oh, yeah, you're never going to make it. You're so old. Oh, my gosh. What's your household income?
Household income, let's see, we're about $230,000.
Oh, my. Justin.
Yes.
If you're not going to make it, then I'm screwed.
Well, and that's mostly the wife. I'll have to give her most of the credit. But yeah, we're big. We've just been saving, honestly, and I think it's getting time in our life where we need to start making some more riskier moves, because I just looked at our statements on our savings account, and we're getting it's laughable, our interest rate on our savings account.
How much do you have in that savings account?
Liquid, we have in that savings account about $240,000.
Okay. Yeah, and it's making 1% or something.
Yeah, we got like $180 or $200 every month, and it's just I was trying to tell my wife we got to do something else, and together
I do agree that needs to change. Yeah. All right. So what we teach folks, Justin, to build wealth and to lay a foundation to build that wealth with, is a process called the baby steps.
That's right.
Okay.
So, do you guys currently have any debt?
The only debt we have is a $27,000 truck loan.
Okay. So when we walk through the baby steps, baby step 1, which you have this, is $1,000 saved. You don't have to worry about that because you got that laying around. After that, we're going to pay off all of our debt except the mortgage using the debt snowball. You've only got the one debt, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can pay it off today. Pull it out of your savings. Yeah. You're debt free today. The next thing after that is you're going to go to baby step 3, which is getting 3 to 6 months saved. Now, in you guys' situation, do both of you guys work?
Yeah, we're both working.
Okay. Solid type work, or are you seasonal? Is there any reason that you would want 6 months above 3 months?
Of expenses?
No, we just had a little one, but other than that, she's still working. I'm working, and she's a nurse practitioner, and I'm a power lineman. So
okay.
So for fun, let's call your emergency fund $50,000.
Yeah.
Now the emergency fund, Justin, does not earn money. It's there for protection of the things that do earn money.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you had how much in savings? 200.
About $240,000 total.
240
in a liquid savings.
Okay,
yeah.
240. Okay, so we just spent 27 and paid off your car, and then I spent 50 for the emergency fund. I allocated some of that, so that's 75 out of that. So we're around 140 right now left over. Okay, with me? And you got a little one. Now, what we do after that, after you've got the emergency fund in place and you're debt-free but the house, then we start working what we call baby steps 4, 5, and 6 simultaneously. 4 is I want you to start investing 15% of your household income into good mutual funds in retirement accounts, 401ks, Roths, Roth IRAs, with a match, without a match, whatever you've got that you can do up to 15%. No more than 15% going into retirement, but I want that much going in there. And so that's about out of your monthly budget. That's not out of this savings, but out of your monthly budget. That's going to amount to about $30,000, $35,000 a year, okay?
Okay.
Out of your, and you got a really good income. That alone, if you do that in good mutual funds, will make you a multimillionaire when you are 65. If you just do that, and we're not going to stop there, okay? But if you just do that, you're going to be a multimillionaire. Then, once you're doing that, now we go on to baby step 5, which is kids' college. Now, I would sit down with an investment professional, click SmartVestor Pro at RamseySolutions.com, and start a kid's college fund for your new little one, and you can throw $10,000 in there. So now we're down to 100.
We've actually already got that established,
we've
already put some good amount of funds to that as well.
Great.
By the way,
so that's all. Is that in good mutual funds?
It's what is it called? A 529.
529. But is it mutual funds?
Yeah.
Is it mutual funds?
I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that.
You need to make sure it's in good mutual funds, just like the 15% in baby step 4 is. Then baby step 5 is we're going to concentrate on, or baby step 6 is we're going to concentrate on paying off the home next before we do additional investing beyond the 15%, because when you don't have a house payment or anything, you got so much stinking money to build wealth with, it's unbelievable, okay? So I'm going to throw that other 100 and a quarter. If you don't need to buy a car or something else out of it, that you may want to set back something if you got a purchase coming. But if you don't have a purchase coming, I'm throwing all of that at the house. What's your mortgage balance?
We owe about $220, I believe, on it.
Ooh.
Amazing. Okay.
I love this.
So we throw 120 at it. We got 100. We got 100 left, and you're going to be debt-free, house and everything, in 2 to 3 years when you're 35 years old.
Ooh.
What's this house worth?
I think and this is just off Realtor.com. It's probably not very accurate, but about $450, $460.
Ooh,
Okay, so in 3 years, when it's paid for, it's worth $600. By then, what I'm outlining, you're going to have $300 or $400 in your retirement accounts. What we're outlining is going to have you to have your first $1 million net worth. You'll be a millionaire by 36 or 37.
Oh, come on! I can't. Oh boy, I thought this was going to go downhill. Not
No,
this
this
way.
is very good, Justin.
I was worried that we weren't investing enough right now because we only have our 401ks. We don't do okay.
You're not. You need to be putting 15% aside, and this money doesn't need to be laying in savings. But it's not something you need to go the woodshed over. You're making a lot of money and you're not spending it all. Way to go.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Thanks to my wife.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, she's awesome then. You guys, so the bottom line is you don't need money laying there like that 120 not working any harder than it is. I'm going to throw it at the house so it works a little harder. And then the next big thing, it doesn't mean we have to live on beans and rice because you're doing really well. But I just want you to be very intentional. Any money beyond retirement, beyond that 15% that you can find in your budget that you don't need to have a reasonable life before you put it into a savings account again, let's just chunk it on the mortgage and finish that mortgage off.
You got it. Yeah,
see, $33,000 a year finishes that mortgage off in 3 years.
Okay.
And you make 200 and something.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys could get.
You're just doing so good.
Yeah.
You're a YouTube cut, but it's a good one.
Okay. Oh gosh, I thought I was going to be. I was a little worried because I just started getting into a little bit more, and it's like if you're not investing when you're younger, and
well, you are, and all we did here is fine tune the smart.
Mm-hmm.
You already had smart, and we just added the icing on the cake to make it run just a little bit smoother. Okay.
Yeah, and I was worried you were going to get mad at me that we did just get a nice, decent truck, but we call it the baby mobile. And
yeah, I'm not mad at you, but never take out another car payment. Car payment is middle class thinking.
Okay.
Pay cash for your cars the rest of your life.
Okay.
It'll make you think about your cars different.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. Okay, awesome. Well, that's great then. I thought
you're going to pay it off today, right?
Yes, I'm going to go to the wife right now and tell her what you said, and then we'll see what she says.
Okay. All right. All right. Hang on. I'm going to send you a copy of the book Baby Steps Millionaires because you are on track to be one very soon, my friend.
That's exciting.
He's a good one.
He's a good one. And I love that it's showing that it's not too late. If you're in your 30s and you're just now getting around to investing, I think you're going to be all right.
It's going to be okay. Well, and isn't it interesting how they were working together? I'm not going to pay it off till I talk to her, but then we're going to pay it off. There we go. I like it.
Yeah, we're not yelling at you.
No,
you're a good one.
Not a bit. That puts this hour of The Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.